Hello everyone, it's me, it's Lawson, it's your favourite monster's favourite monster. Garbled that one, never mind, we live, we move, we learn, we laugh. How's everyone doing on a Sunday? Actually, more importantly, can you hear me? Because I'm going to get the technical stuff done first, and this is all sort of a new setup, so I don't know whether anyone can even hear me. So please let me know. I know there's a bit of a delay, so I'll keep an eye on the chat. But in the meantime, I am painting Krieg, because I have set myself a ridiculous challenge for 2025. I am going to try and build and paint every army box that comes out this year. So we're starting with Krieg, and we're... Oh, Lord, you are quiet, lad. Okay, let's try... First of all, we'll try with the microphone here. Is that any better? If not, we'll try and see what we've got. That's as loud as it goes, I think, on this side, but we'll try on the microphone itself. Like I said, just keep me posted, keep me right, let me know what's going on. But yes, my challenge to myself for 2025 is to build and paint every army box that comes out this year. So we're starting with Krieg, then in 2 weeks it's Gitmob, and then I'll keep you know what, let's just go right up to full. Let's not half measure this. Is that as far as it goes? Yes, it is. There we go. So Gitmob's the next one's coming out in 2 weeks. And then after that, I don't know, but there's 2 boxes that they have announced, which is Soulblight Gravelords and Emperor's Children. So that's at least another 3 more boxes ahead of me. So I've got 2 weeks to finish this Krieg box. I have so far finished the artillery team, and that is as far as pretty much I've got in terms of actual finished output. So I need to get a move on, and I thought, let's make streaming hold me accountable. So that's the plan. I'm going to keep streaming, keep painting, get all this done. So we'll get cracking with the knacking and see how it goes. But a quick hello to everybody. Hello, Chris Breezy. Hello, Louie. And hello, Crazy Doug. It's good to see Crazy Doug. I can't see you, but I see you in my heart. So yeah, I have a bunch of Krieg engineers here to do that I've sort of part painted. It's mainly metallics and washes, and then I'm kind of calling them done for now, which will be great. I have 5 Death Riders primed and built and primed. It's not painted. I keep saying painted. It's not painted. And I've made a start on Lord Marshal Dreer. Challenge this year to have 1 painted army. I believe in you. Even if you do not believe in you, I believe in you. It's not to say that you don't believe in you, but I do believe in you. Right. So with these guys, this is a bit brighter. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. So these guys, it's pretty much just sort of metallics and a couple of other gubbins I need to do, and then it's washes and highlights, and I should be able to call them done. And then it's 5 Death Riders, and there's 5 more Death Riders to build and paint, and I'm beginning to see the flaw in my own challenge here. It's a lot more. So, what? My airbrush is still on for some reason. Excuse me a moment. I'll turn you off. Shut up. There we go. Shut up, you. There we are. Not entirely sure why that was still on, but okay, here we are. Right, where was I? Metallics. Okay, so what I'm using is a home blend of lead belcher and Vallejo model air chrome or steel. Anyway, so it's sort of the midpoint between the two, which I like, but it requires an inordinate amount of shaking. There we go. Get that in the palette. But it's dark enough with the lead belcher, and it's got the great coverage of the chrome. Get ourselves a brush. With that brush, and away we go. So, how is everybody doing on a Sunday? Have we had a good weekend? Have we done something? Have we done nothing? Because as I tell everybody at work, when they ask me, do you have plans? I always say, not if I can help it. That goes down a storm. I'm very good at corporate small talk. And as always, if anyone has any questions about anything painting related that you think I can answer, please feel free. And if you have any painting questions that you feel that I can't answer, also feel free to bamboozle me. I also realised my army challenge will involve painting more than 50 Kroot. See, when it gets to that level of like a number of models that you need to paint, I think there comes a point where it's like it's not even 50 anymore. It's just like, okay, so for this year I'm just gonna keep painting them because I don't think they'll ever end. Because when you're getting into the digits like that, it's like, this is never going to end, so this is just my life. Like the same way that you're like, you know, I enjoy pizza. It's just like, I gotta, you know, got the Kroot, do the Kroot. What's that? More Kroot? Okay, let's do more Kroot. Oh, it's doing that thing, isn't it? When it's right. I don't know why, but occasionally the camera will switch to portrait. And I have no idea why it does that. And I've been trying to fix it. And it's not working. It doesn't like that. So, apologies in advance. And again, just keep me right if I've wandered. I have a nasty habit of wandering off camera while I'm painting, so just give me a nudge. But it's been some time since I've had a good old painting stream, and I have a nice setup, a nice dedicated area, so I'm not setting up and pulling down. This can be a permanent sort of little streaming section for me, which I think is always helpful. Oh Lord, why did I do it like this? Gotta get in all around the back and the front, and that is terrible. And this silver is really powerful, so if it goes on anything else, it's gonna show. I think I did. Well, I think we're okay. Famous last words. And what are people up to hobby-wise? And it doesn't even have to be Warhammer. Just what hobbies have you got? What do you like to do? What do you like to do with your time? Have you tried changing it to Wombo? I don't know what that is. I do apologise. What is Wombo? Because that may be the solution. I assume you're talking about my camera flipping problem. Or have I just walked into like a D's nuts joke? You know, I forgot to set up any music for the background, so for when I am being quiet and desperately trying not to ruin stuff I do. Oh, apology, the study of Wombo. It's first grade SpongeBob. I haven't watched a lot of SpongeBob, I'll be honest with you. There's a lot of metal details on this dude. SpongeBob reference. You gotta change it from mini to Wombo. Oh god. Okay, right. I feel like I've got some homework ahead of me here. To study Wombology before the next time I stream. Okay. Oh, and then just a little skull on the flamethrower there. Oh yeah, that job's a good one. Right, I think that is all the metallics. Brilliant, we'll move on to the next one. By the way, hello Quoth, and hello RGB Miniatures. Lovely to see you. Although I keep saying seeing you. You know what I mean. It's lovely to experience your existence. And hello Nerdy Goth. Hope you're well, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. Right. we're doing here. I'm going to try and get everything else. All the other metallics before I try. I really should have probably done these, because I should have done these with their arms off. But I was a fool! A prize idiot. And I was like, no, I just want to get them all painted. I just want to get them all built. It'll be fine. Another situation of past Lawson making present Lawson suffer. He says, talking about suffering when it's just painting. And painting isn't suffering. It's great fun. Paint that little bit there. A bit around here. So, for those who are into the Warhammer space and the whatnot, there was some reveals from Adepticon recently. What are people excited for? I, for one, was very excited to see new models for the vampire counts. Well, the Soulblight Gravelords, as they're called now. Because I am a big fan of Death Armies in Age of Sigmar. So seeing refreshed Crypt Guard, or as they are now going to be called, is it Barrow Guard? Yeah, Barrow Guard I think they're called, is very cool. Emperor's Children, says Chris. Chris Home Run. Is that Chris? No, so that's not Chris Home Run. Sorry, my eyes are failing me. Hello from Canada. Oh, hello. Well, hello from Newcastle. Yes, the Emperor's Children box looks so good. Right, I'm just gonna... I remember now, I painted all of this in black to remind me that some of the details need to be in silver. Here we go. There we are. It's going to be... I think that's... Yep, that's more silver done on that one. Now for the champion. Or sergeant, whatever they're called. Your grandmother was born in Newcastle. Newcastle, England? Wait, Newcastle upon Tyne or Newcastle under Lyme? Because there is a difference. Because they're two completely different places. One of them is the greatest city in the UK, and the other one I know nothing about. Ah, this is nice and easy. Chest plate is nice and open. Good. we go. Just carefully do the details on his gun here. Get that skull. That little skull. And we'll get front bits here. It's great sitting in the UK is a bit of a push. Nah. Newcastle's awesome. It's the home of Greg's and Shearer, man. It's awesome. Oh, why is it doing that? Calm down, you. Computer's just pitching a bit of a fit, but that'll be fine. Is that where the other Newcastle is? It's central. Right, what have I missed? Leg guards. Getting Boba Fett vibes. Do you know what? I can't explain it, but I get it. Yeah, I can't explain it, but I do get it. I understand. Right. So nerdy, I'm painting up Krieg at the moment. So basically, short time ago, excuse me, a short time ago, this big box came out, the Death Core of Krieg. Oh, steady, because I'm just making a mess of everything here. Doesn't fit into the camera, so I'm trying to get it all painted up before the next big box comes out. So at the moment I'm working on these engineers and the little Doomba, and then we've got some Death Riders and all sorts of things like that. Huge Chaos player, so really excited for the Emperor's Children box for LVO. So for me, I really love what they're doing with the Emperor's Children. It just looks really cool. I like that they have a rank and file in 2 varieties. That's very nice. I like those, was it the Flawless Host? Or the Flawless Blades? Champion Blades? I can't remember what they're called now. But the 3-man unit, very cool. Very cool as well. But for me, from LVO, it was the Soulblight Gravelords. Like, I wasn't expecting in 2025 a new White King on Skeletal Steed, because they got one a few years ago and it's really cool. But we're getting a new one and it's awesome. Like, I thought the one that we had already was really cool. But apparently I don't know shit compared to Games Workshop's design studio. And as always, I am more than happy to be wrong when it comes to very cool models. But I very much like the Emperor's Children reveals. Very cool. I don't know how they'll play. I assume they will be fun. I hope they're very, like, go big or go home as an army play style. Because thematically, if they're meant to be, you know, seeking excess sensation and, like, perfection in battle and everything like that, I really hope that the rules reflect that. Like, it's a really big sort of, like, they overextend themselves and win big, or they'll, you know, sort of shit themselves and cry if they don't. Yeah, the cone heads are a little odd. But I'm hoping there'll be, like, helmeted versions, because the helmeted version of Fulgrim, like, that's a really cool helmet option, so I hope that's something that translates into the Flawless Toast ones. Again, I'm calling them Flawless Toast, but I don't know whether that's the actual name. Flawless Toast is a renegade. Is that where I'm getting it from? I thought that was just like, I knew Flawless Host was something, but you know when you can't place where from. And yes, New Fulgrim, very cool. I like New Fulgrim. Like I said, I really like it. Like, I think his face sculpt's absolutely fine. I know some people have been less than charitable about it, but I think the new face sculpt's fine. But that mask, that helmet is just, whoa. But like, I always love, like, helmets and masks options and on models. It says New Year's resolutions can't even be early meetup. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely, Doug. We will see each other again. Have no fear. Oh, I've missed this a little bit at the back here. Careful, careful, careful. Job's good, and I think that's everything on that guy. I don't own a single fully painted model apart from one Blood Bowl mini. Well, maybe this is, how about we hold each other accountable here? Because I want to get into more of the more into a rhythm of streaming on a Sunday. Paint some models, chat with people, have a good time streaming on a Sunday. So what if you sit down and you paint some models as well while I'm streaming, and then you can get put some dent into the plastic tide. Because I realise I'm really bad for doing things for myself. Because I'm like, yeah, whatever. I won't do it. I get it, I get it done, whatever. But if it's for somebody else, I'm like, yes, okay. Or if I told somebody else that I'm going to do something, I'm like, let me know, give me head a wobble if I don't. I'm far more likely to get things done. Kidding, my phone's flickering. So I recently got my phone repaired because the screen started to flicker, and the damn thing's less than a year old. And I sent it off to get repaired. It's been repaired, and I've just seen that the screen is flickering again. Brilliant. So I'm going to be on it. Google again. Being like, you fixed nothing. Cheers for that. Start. See how it goes. Oh, I'm so annoyed about that. Right, yeah, that's it. Well, I'll call them tomorrow. Because it took like 2 weeks to get it sent off and fixed in the first place. And they still message me being like, we can't see anything wrong. I'm like, have you tried using the phone? Because it'll start doing it. So let's have a look at. New flip open. Seems 2. Maybe this for the year. Getting at least my Tau Army painted is on it. Absolutely. I like this. I think people have quietly decided that 2025 is a year that you just sort of, do stuff. Doesn't have to be anything major. Just like, you just want to be like, I want to do stuff. I want to do more stuff. Do more things. At least that's been my experience this year with talking to people. Okay, is that everything? Yeah. Yep. There we go. That's it. And then quickly do the Doomba. Hey, Mikey! Alright, let's get the Doomba sorted. Everybody say hi to Mikey. He's my best friend. I love him very much. He's been painting up a storm too. See, that's it. You should paint it up. Just doing stuff. What the? There we go. So yes, my doing stuff plan is to paint every army box that comes out this year. I am really hoping that it's not a lot of army boxes this year, or at least a manageable amount. Hey, you can be a chaos player and still, like, you know, so get yourself like a little tower out there. You know, there's nothing wrong with, like, just, you know, wandering about and seeing what's what in the old 41st millennium. Like, I never thought I'd do Imperial Guard, but then I saw that Krieg box and I went, oh dear. Time for me to be financially irresponsible. So yeah, 2025 is the year that we just do stuff. Doesn't matter how much or how little. Just do some stuff. Do some, and perhaps even some things. New year, new army. New year, old army. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think it was, what was it, like 2-3 years ago. 2-3 years ago, I went to like a war boot sale, and there was like an obscenely good deal on like some Tau. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do Tau, and I'm gonna do Farsight Enclaves, and it's gonna be cool and all red, and like this is gonna be my red year. And I painted like 5 models red, and then went other stuff. What about junk? What about junk? Absolutely junk. We're doing junk too. We're doing stuff. We're doing junk. We are up to nonsense. We are up to Tom Japery. We are up to Mick Foolery. We're just being real gremlin goblinoids about the whole thing. It's great. And we've got some Spanish in the chat too. I can't speak Spanish. Spanish, I thought it was Geordie. Right, okay. Vaultford. Didn't you start? Because I'm going to start hoying out bands the second someone talks shit about Jimmy Nail. Red cloaks or bust, mate. Yeah. I feel you. I feel you. So, we have some metallics on everything. So that's pretty much sort of base coats done on most of the models. Oh, apart from the sergeant, I don't know what colour to do his gun and his sword in. What do we think, people? I'll leave this up to the chat. Do people want what colour? What colour gun? And what colour sword? And we'll have a chainsword, I mean. Does the stream come with subtitles? Hang on. I'll see if I can actually turn them on. Because I think there is something about closed captions. Can I? Oh, I can't turn them on midstream. Right. Louis, that's a good point. I'll make sure, I'll see if I can't get some closed captions done for the next time I stream. Okay? And then hopefully people can... That's a little bit more inclusive, isn't it? You've bamboozled me there, Louis. You've had me. But actually, at the same time, I don't think closed captions is probably a bad idea. So it is something I'll look into anyway. He's had you there. Yes, absolutely had me there. But you know what? I'm going for it anyway. So let's have a look here. Salamander Primaris Captain. Joe Chaplain. Primaris Chaplain. Yes. Lovely. I love a chaplain. Pants down. Yeah. Egg and my face in alignment. Red for the sword. Okay. Red for the sword. Shake the dickens out of it. There we go. I'm going to go with Blood Angels red, because ball red is, I think, going to be too bright. Right, good start. Put the old paintbrush thing in it. And should I do the gun casing in red as well? What are we feeling? Mars pattern. Mars, home of the techno nerds. There we go. It's a tempting proposition. I mean, I don't know if anybody else has that intrusive thought where you look at your model and things and you go, I could just dip it head first into paint and kind of just style it out from there. So I think when it comes to weapon colours, there is some like law reasoning behind it, usually like, you know, where it was made or what kind of weapon it is. But I think it's mainly just sort of off the old artwork, and some stuff is stuck around, and sometimes they change things around. Sometimes it's just what works best with like the colour scheme. try and get just an edge here. I've probably overpainted it, but never mind. We live, we laugh, we love, we learn. There we go. So there we go, some red weapons. And we'll do the wires here in red. There we go. And I think somebody had a... Yeah, this guy's got some wires going. You ever seen how only painter recommends using their shade paint? Oh yes, yeah, their quick shade, their dip sheet that comes in like the metal tins that you've got to open with like a screwdriver. I don't know whether they still make it because they've really moved into the war fanatics. Right, is there anything else that might want or need some red? No, I think that's all good. That's all good. Right. So yeah. These have been mainly a contrast job, just on smaller details that I just want one coat, you know, simple, done. But stuff like the cloaks. Excuse me, sorry, I just got to crack every bone in my arms. Oh yeah, that's not cracking. There we go. That's a bit better. But the great coats and the silver details I'm doing. Oh, I've missed that bit in silver. I'm trying to put a little bit more effort into. Full disclosure, not much more effort, but some. Did I miss the back of his shotgun? I did, but I can't really reach it, so it doesn't matter. And that's the other thing as well. If I can't see it, other people can't see it, so it doesn't matter, so we're not painting it. Work smart, not hard. What did I just crack? That was my elbow. My left elbow snaps. Something rotten. It's awful. I should have probably warned people and maybe apologised, but here we are. Alright. So they're all done. Now it's for shading. So I'm going to shade the metallics first. What do I want to shade the... I'm having a brain fart here. Having a massive brain... I've also forgotten. I've not painted this guy's shotgun very well at all. I keep seeing more parts I haven't painted. Come on. There we go. That's better. Right, let me give this guy another once over. Have I forgotten anything else? No, I think we're good. Okay. Right, fine. Magical. Right, I'm having a senior moment here. Am I shading the metallics first, or I'm shading the cloaks? Drink the no. always a tempting possibility. But I'm hoarding my old formula Northern Oil because I like it better than the new formula, so I can't drink it no more. It's a fine and rare vintage. Right. No, we'll do the blue cloaks first because that's going to take the longest to dry. Louis, the harder part. You already said it's 50 crute. Where is it? I dread to think what you're going to come out with next, but I'm in. I'm on board. On my tie, yellow and light grey on a black base. I have no airbrush. Why would you do this? No, no longer on board. Just, Louis, I want you to get yourself out there. Either get yourself an airbrush or get a primer. Get a different primer. Get Wraithbone. Get Avalanche Sunset. Go to the Colour Forge. They do some great colour matches. Right, so we're gonna go with Griff Charger. And we're going to wash this over all the blue cloak stuff. You can see that. Hope you can. Said, I know Griff Charger's a contrast, but I'm using it like a wash because it works pretty well as a wash over this sort of military blue. Actually, it is a good idea to do the Griff Charger here because if it overspills a bit onto the metallics, that's okay, because the shade wash that I'm going to be putting on that is darker, so it won't show up. Well, it'll be covered, even. I get there eventually. Please help me. Right, that's done. No, it's not. He's got his other colour, which I haven't painted properly to begin with, so, you know. Whee! But storm surges are cool, though. That's not a challenge, that's a treat. That's a lovely treat. Like getting chili cheese bites with your Burger King. Oh, I might get a Burger King tonight. After I'm done here, get myself a lovely Burger King. Because they say you are what you eat, and I am in fact a massive Whopper. I really like this flamer model because he has a little oven mitt to hold the flamer, because one would assume that it does in fact get quite hot when it is throwing flames. And where you can see it, just there. a little oven mitt. Isn't that nice? Sure, put some of the doom, but he has actual. That's even better because I love a storm surge, but you know, like I get that it's meant to be like a mobile heavy weapons platform. I get it. I understand that. But I would kind of like it to be a giant mech. Or more like a giant mech. Did you put it in the Discord, did you? Right, I'll have to check it out. And as well, once I get more into the swing of streaming on the reg for myself and others, if people want to post their mini painting, we can do like a little art showcase if we get enough interest in that, and I can show off the art and I can tell people what I like about it, because I love looking at people's work. And I'll try and find the theme. It wasn't an art attack. It was. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do, and so on and so forth. I got a little lost in that. Just washing the military coat. Okay. This guy. I've got a Discord link in the. Yes, take heart. Yes, yes. I think that is what I'm looking for. Do we? We don't have the Discord link in the thing. So 2 seconds, Delphid. I will. Right, hang on. I think, I don't know whether this still works. That might work. I don't know whether that still works or not. Let's find out. Is it working? I don't think it is working. Bugger. Yeah, bear with me. I'll try and see if I can dig out an invite link. I don't really use Discord all that much anymore. And I can't remember how any of it works. Because I'm old. It's not that I can't use technology, I just don't remember how it works after I've learned how to use it. Which is probably worse. All bits, yeah, that's all those bits done. Now for Mr. Sergeant. Oh, I appreciate that, Dolford. Yeah, I think we probably will have it maybe in our about section, or it will be there will be a Discord link somewhere, and it should still be, because I made sure that the ones I've posted in the past didn't expire. Okay, right. So I think that's all. Done. Excuse me a moment. Let's go on here. Oh, excuse me. Right. Oh, it's the Sunday previews. So what have we got here? Oh, it's more Krieg. It's all the Krieg and all the Imperial Guard. That's nice. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Champion. Yeah, I think the yeah, there's no links, Louis. Apparently YouTube chat doesn't like them. I'm sure we'll... Oh! Right, okay. Quick stretch. Right, on to shading the metallics. So, this is like a two-stage process, because some of the metallics are armour and some of the metallics are gubbins, and I need to work out which is which. So for the armour, I have a shade mixed up, because it darkens it right down and turns it into sort of like a black steel armour. And then for the gubbins armour, it's going to be rattling grime, because I wanted to make it look a bit grimy. There we go. So thank you, Louis, to trying to sort out the Discord stuff there. It is very much appreciated. Right, so we're going to do a bit of rattling grime. So again, they say rattling grime is a contrast paint, but again, I think it works better as a shade paint. So here we are. So what I'm doing is I'm just putting it on anything that's what I always call working metal. So like the blowtorch on this guy's backpack. But actually I think I'll put it over the canteen on his backpack as well, because then that just darkens everything down and then brings it together nicely. Yeah. Oh, just that little bit there on his side satchel. And then we'll put a little bit on his little doodad on his chest there. Okay, that's all the working metal that he's got. Oh, you're very welcome, Dolford. You take care now. You have yourself a lovely evening, whatever you get up to. And I hope to see you at the next one. Again, I'm just going to go around and get all the working metal. So, like the little engine on his chainsword and his handguard there. We'll get the teeth as well. Go, I've got everything there. Yeah. Oh, just missed that little bit there. Go. here we're going to get the fuel tank. Skull there. All around the flamethrower. A bit more in there. There we go. Wasn't going in the little dots. Oh, can't fit the back. And then all around this backpack. I think it's a det pack or something he's got on his backpack. There's a plunger, so I think it is. Like a breaching charge of some description or something. I mean, they are engineers. And they do love, I think they are designed just to blow things up. Oh, yeah, in the back, yeah. Bit there. Yep, that's that. Move down the line. Ooh. And here, so just I think it's, yeah, just shotgun and backpack here. Skull. I love these Krieg shotguns. They just look so like fun and chunky. And as we all know, who doesn't love it fun and chunky? Use that to describe just about anything in life and you're in for a good time. Soup. Pasta sauces. Fried chicken. People. If it's fun and chunky, it's going to be good. It's going to be good. Get around the backpack here. Right. Yeah, that's all good. And then just this last one here. Just the pickaxe handle, head, even, not the handle. There we go, and that's that, and then that's that. Champion. Oh, forgot Doom, but It's not that. No, dear listener, that was not done. Go. Getting there slowly but surely. Actually, I wouldn't even say slowly. I'd say what? Been painting for about an hour? Making some good progress. There we go. There's Doombot. Right. Oh, I just rearranged myself in my seat. Again. It's always important to stretch. Okay. Now we go on to the armour. Oh, excuse me. God, I'm just a fucking mess. Right. So yeah, this is a mix of Black Legion and Rattling Grime, and it's been thinned with some contrast medium, so it's not quite as potent as its constituent parts, but still enough to make sure that the armour looks more like dark steel than not. I don't know where I was going with that. Never mind. As you will see shortly, hopefully. So. Because I thought the blacks, like just the Black Legion on its own is just one, very strong, and it's too flat. Hang on, I've put too much on there. There we go, that's a bit better. So the Rattling Grime gives it a bit of a browny, greeny, or worn look to it. And it does dry down quite matte, but still giving the impression of metallic. So I find it works pretty well. Right, now to get in at that chest armor plate, which is easier said than done. There's bits everywhere. But this is a tricky sod. And I'll just paint it on the side cheeks here, because I want to keep that skull design on the gas mask visible. I'm just very glad with the latest sort of Week in Warhammer announcement of like next week's pre-orders, it's not another army box, because I have just pre-ordered the Git mob box. So like I said at the start of this, that gives me 2 weeks to get this all finished. So that's 10 Death Riders, Lord Dreer, because I'm pretty sure I can I'll almost get these finished tonight. Because I was planning to stream until about 7:30ish. And I think this is the last major part of that. Go. Where's the skull on his thing? Because basing these is it's going to be very easy, because I've mixed up a mud effect. I've just done a large tub of it that should cover me for this whole army project. Fingers crossed. So I'll just slap that on and let it dry, and that's pretty much the basing side of it done, which is handy. Because I always tend to lose steam when it comes to like when it hits like time to base an army. I lose steam very quickly. I like with the engineers that I've noticed is they've got a little sculpted ring on the back of their helmet, which I assume is for what they use, like it'll hook onto stuff, which I think is pretty cool. Like, That's form and function like that. Okay. Oh, nearly forgot his other leg plate. He would have looked very silly. His friends would have made fun of him. So why have you got one very shiny leg plate? Okay, and then this last one, and then yeah, don't need to put any of this on the Doomba because it hasn't really got any armor plating, at least not like this. Also a little bit in the back. There we go. Oh, yeah, it's chest plate. New detachment. You can spend 1 CP to make breaches +2 strength. Nice. With the other bonus, that would make them 30 shots, strength 8, AP -2. Now, I haven't played 40k in a long time. But that sounds like absolute bloody filth. I love it. I love it. Right. Clean off that. So, big stretch. There we go. That's my wrist pop. That's what I'm after. Have a little drinky. So, while those are still drying a little bit, I'll show you one I have prepared earlier. Because the first model I finished was the artillery cannon. So let's show that off, shall we? Here is the artillery cannon. Hand behind there. This thing comes on a whopping 130mm base. And what I like is that for the weapon options, you don't need to magnetize them or anything. You can just pop them out. So this is the big barrage cannon. That comes out. And then you can put in the Chunky Monkey mortar cannon. You know, if you would like a small petite hose. And then this whole thing comes out. Like this. And then you can clip in one of these guys. And this is one, and I love this so much, it was one of the first times that I ever painted all the weapons options for for a unit. So there's the missile battery. Again, paint scheme wise, I'm doing like a bit more than slap, chop and contrast, but like not much more. So that's all very nice. Put that to one side. Also, we've got Lord Dreer here, who I have started on, but that's just the Hoss, which I'm fairly happy with so far. Might be something that I do with all the other horses, might go for different coloured horses. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, excuse me. Hiccups and heartburn, what a combo. Right, so taking a look at these, I think they are almost done. Just need to do the eye lenses. So I think let's play a game of how steady is my hand. Get a smaller brush. Get a size 0. Give it a little wet. Ooh. Yeah, paint holder. Right, so I've got two handles, two paint handles. This is the red grass, like 360 paint holder, and it's quite nice. Comes with like these detachable caps and some adhesive tack to mount the models, and it spins around, and even in my giant hands it grips quite nicely. And then the other one is the old style GW handle, which I don't think they sell anymore. I think they have the other one now, which is also pretty good apparently, I hear. Again, with everything, I always recommend, I think, again, I don't think you can get, I think you can get these handles still, but I think the caps are different now. I think they've changed to like a version 2 cap. They are hard plastic, as you can hear, but they are very ergonomic. But as I recommend to anybody who's looking to get anything to do with painting and whatnot, always go with what is easiest available to you. Because very rarely have I found like truly like duff products, hobby-wise. I've found like products that are probably a bit superfluous to requirement. But whatever is easiest for yourself to get your hands on, that tends to be the product that I'll recommend. So like if you have a local GW paints, GW brushes are fine. Oh, my the palette for my paints. Right, so this is a fidget popper. You can get them from B&M. You can get them from Home Bargain, toy shops, Amazon, wherever. Fidget poppers. Because you can pop them out like that. So when you're done painting, you just go boop, and you can pop out the old dried in paint. And they're very easy to clean as well. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realise you were talking about the palette I was using. I thought you were talking about the handle. But yeah, I think I got that from like Poundland, and it's great. I just yeah. Did I do that? Yes, I did. There we go. There's the eye lenses all done. Oh, grody. Never mind. Yeah, fidget poppers, absolutely magical. Now, what have we got left to do on here? Not really all that much, just a bit. I suppose I need to do the little base bits, but I'll do them all in the same sort of thing because I'm going to go over them. So this is a test scheme of the base that I've got of my mud texture. So as you can see, it's a little bit glossy, just to make it like look a little bit like wet mud, and it's got some other bits and pieces, and it dries bloody rock solid, which is always good. So I'm going to go over the little bits that they're like sort of standing on with Gore Grunter, so it all ties together. and then it's time for basing. Oh, yeah, like, GW stuff does have some ludicrous markups in places. But again, like I said, it's like if you've got a GW sort of like, you know, local to you, and you want to get your hands on something, some tools and stuff to start you out, or it's not until, you know, you maybe like 6 to 12 months down the line of your painting journey, and you're like, hey, I wanna up this somewhat. Then you can start looking at like other companies. But I always think that GW is a good sort of starting off point, because yeah, okay, it's expensive. It is. There's no two ways about it. Their products are expensive, and it does vary on like the bang for your buck that you can get from them. However, they have managed to curate a very good system of like start to finish for people. Like, it's all like a one-stop shop. You go in there for your box of Space Marines, and while you're there, you can get your Ultramarines blue, you can get your clippers, you can get your plastic glue, you know, you can get your shade that goes with it. I'm a big fan of Green Stuff World, personally, of their products, because yeah, like you say, the tools are great. I haven't really used their paints. I like their dipping inks, because not Christmas gone, but the Christmas before, my partner got me the full set of their dipping inks, which is their version of Contrast, and some of those dipping inks really, really nice, really good. Some not so much. I think like one of them that was very disappointing, I think it was called like Red Opulence, and it's just the weakest red ink, red contrast that I've ever encountered, and I was like, that's disappointing. But they have one that's like shark skin dip. It's so good. I'm actually currently using their brushes. I will always absolutely recommend, if you're looking for a good workhorse brush, the Green Stuff World Silver Series size 2. Amazing. Like, I'm very hard wearing on my brushes, and I forget to clean them a lot, and they are very, very forgiving for how much torture I put them through. And for the price point, they're usually about £6-7 for a brush, which I think is a very reasonable price to pay. Right, there we go. That's the Gore Grunter. Right, so that's the kind of basing we're going for. And bugger, I forgot the Gore Grunter on Doomba. I keep forgetting Doomba. I know the Green Stuff World paints have gone through like a second edition, like a 2.0 version, like the Army Painter stuff does, because I hate Army Painter paints. I've not used the War Fanatic range yet, but people have said good things, so I may try some down the line. But yeah, I think Green Stuff World have got like a new 2.0 version of their paints, which seem to be pretty okay. I don't know. I've not really heard anybody talking about them. But I think, really, as a company, they're not really going for the paint market. They're going for, gubbins, bits and bobs, tools and accessories kind of market. And they've also been recently getting into like cosplay stuff, which is cool. Right, that's all that done. Hello, Steves. How you doing? It is a Lawson stream. It is indeed a Lawson stream. These are Lawson's hands. You can tell by the ill-advised tattoo on the wrist. Right, what was I doing? Basing time. So, time to get the whole pot of poo. And you'll see why now. And old nasty brush. Sorry, I'm reaching over because I have a second. I have my main painting desk sort of just over my shoulder there. This is my stream setup. Painting. And my partner is an absolute saint for letting me do that because we have a pretty small flat. So she's very nice for letting me take up so much space in our own home with all of my stuff. Yes, so this is my pot of poo. As you can see, it dries a lot darker and it does have a nice effect. So what this is made of is, much like how I cook, I eyeball it. It was an ill-advised tattoo because I simply got... Because Lawson loves a deal, so a tattoo place local to me was doing a Friday the 13th thing where it was basically pick a tattoo off this sheet of tattoo designs for £13, and I was like, okay, why not? So I got it done, and I look at it and I go, I don't know why I did, because I was like, oh, it's a bargain, it was £13, and I was like, it's like a little skull with a 13 underneath, and it's just a bit daft. It was also at a time where my mum was I was quite young at the time. I think I was under 20, if that. And my mum was and still is very, very anti-tattoo. So when she saw it, she did try to physically tear it out of me. Like, she dug her claws in and tried to tear the tattoo out. So we're just gonna apply the poo goo all around here. Now, I'm hoping it does dry sort of reasonably. It does dry darker, I know that, but I don't know how transparent it is, because that test base was on a black base, so I'm not too sure how thick I need to put this on to make sure that that base colour doesn't show through, but we'll find out. It's all part of the learning experience, and I guess worst case scenario is I can just darken it down with a wash or paint over it and dry brush it back up. It's fine, everything will be okay. So yes, this is a mixture of my own design. It is part sand, part brown paint, obviously, part PVA glue, a little bit of water, and to get the sort of like the fibrous kind of feeling to it as well, like there's stuff trudged into the mud, I mixed in some blitzed peanut casings. Oh, and as well I added structure gel. To give it a little bit of body, and it also makes it dry a bit glossy. And you can kind of tap in like a little bit of, it's like weight, like you can give us a bit of, what am I trying to say here? The structure gel gives it a bit of paste and a bit of body, so when you're putting it on your model, you can kind of tease like little peaks and troughs and things, so it doesn't settle into one uniform level. so it doesn't look boring, so there's a little bit of visual interest, so it looks more like a muddy, trenchy battlefield, which is what I was going for. And again, because I want to go for, like, you know, the trench warfare kind of vibe that the Krieg are well known for, it's not the worst in the world if I do mess up a little and end up getting some of this mud paste, like, on the bottoms of the coat where it's, like, quite close to the model, or it's overlapping a little bit on the boots, because that just shows that that they're trudging through the mud. It's too much. Cool. What's that? AK, do some great premium terrain. I'm personally not a fan of AK as brands go, so I don't really go for this stuff. There we are. Lovely. How'd you come up with that as a mix? So I've used, like, sand, paint, and PVA as like a basing texture, like, quite a bit, because it comes from an old thing of, like, you used to put a layer of PVA glue on your base, put sand on top, and then you'd paint the sand. And then over time that sort of evolved into, well, pre-paint the sand by just mixing it with the PVA and the paint and the sand, and then you put that on, and that's your thing. And then, because I specifically wanted a wet mud look, I remembered that the structure paste pot that I've used to do flame effects and water effects, and when it dries very glossy. So I was thinking, I was like, aha! Maybe we mix all this together. It'll give it a bit more of a glossy effect. I think probably you could get away with the same effect just by putting some gloss varnish in, or painting gloss varnish over the effect anyway. But I put the heavy structure paste in because I had it. And then I was mixing the sand together and all this bits and pieces, and then I was like, I need something else, because I think the sand's going to look quite plain. It's not going to look muddy. It's not going to look churned mud, like battlefield mud. So I've had a pot of, because I bought a kilo of peanuts in their casing ages ago, and I ate the peanuts, and then I think it was because Mikey had been using coconut husk on his bases, and it worked really well. So I was looking at these peanut shells, and I was just crushing them up in my fingers and then dumping them in the tub, and I saw it had an interesting fibre to it, and then the shell itself broke in nice ways. So I was like, okay, hang on. So I got a hand blender, like an immersion blender, and then just started going at it just to crush it all up real nice and like really chop it really fine. Because I'd seen people do similar things, but with one of those coffee grinder things, or those NutriBullets or whatever they're called. And I was like, I don't have one of those. I've got an immersion blender. It's basically the same thing. Here I go. So I did that, and I thought, right, okay, I'll go half and half sand and shell casings, and yeah, I think it's given it a like. It's not with sand. Sand is very uniform. With this in it, it's not as uniform, so it adds again more interest to the basing. I mean, 9 times out of 10, when it comes to stuff like this, you just kind of jazz noodle it, and you hope for the best. And if it doesn't work, it's fine. You live and learn. Or it gives you a better understanding of why things work the way that they work. Like my thought with the heavy structure paste was to make it gloss and to give it a bit more body so I could tap in, more interesting shapes into the texture itself. And that has worked. And if it didn't work, I'd be like, okay, I understand why it doesn't work, because the structure paste only really works on its own. I think I've just been very lucky, because there are times where things don't work. Right, I'm going to just shove this up a little bit more around the sides of the Doomba. There we go. I think that's all that done. Wash the old crud brush. So, put the lid back on the pot of poo. So, mixed up a fair amount of that. That should be enough for all the Krieg. What time are we at now? Would you look at that? I said I'd be streaming till about 7:30. These guys are all pretty much done, and it's nearly 7:30. I've impressed myself there. Thoroughly impressed myself. So, let's have a look. I'll have a look at the sergeant, because I like the sergeant. I like the leader of the sergeant. He's very cool. Make sure have a look on my proper screen there so you can see it. Come on, you. You were doing it before. Why you no want to? Oh, you were. Oh, there we go. So there is, as you can see, the difference. I hope between what I call working metal, and then his armor metal, like there. On his helmet and his chest plate and his shoulders. Bit of old poo goo on the base. I think you can see just on the edges there, where it's beginning to dry, how it's already drying darker. Which I was very happy with. That was just a happy accident. I had no idea it was going to do that. I thought I was going to have to like wash the mud effect and sort that all out. But yeah, very happy with where I'm at now, and I'm very happy that people took some time out of their Sunday night to come join me as I paint and ramble, and my camera keeps auto-rotating into portrait mode for some reason. We'll try and work that out next time. So I shall love you all and leave you all, and please give me a nudge on the Discord or on my socials. I am on Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky. I'm mainly looking at Blue Sky at the moment. So if you could go follow me, it's at Crafting Kaiju on all three. Give me a nudge, tell me to come back next week and paint more, because we are on a 2-week countdown. Well, technically it's a 13-day countdown. I have 13 days to get all these finished. So I've got these 5 guys and this guy, and there is another of 5 of these guys who I haven't even built yet. So yeah, follow me on social media and just sort of like at me. And in the meantime, if you have painted anything cool, or if you've painted anything, doesn't have to be cool, if you've painted anything or done anything, tag me so I can take a look. And then I want to get into the habit of showcasing some people's work on the streams, and we can all look at cool stuff together and be like, I like that. Maybe we can all learn something. Because sometimes I look at people's work and I'm like, how do you do that? And then if I can have a direct link to this, I can learn in real time as you tell me in the chat how I've done it. So thank you all again. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Have a wonderful week ahead. And goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye.